Hello and welcome to this StarCraft 2 broadcast brought to you by Captain America. And there is a lot of music. Let's turn that off. There we go. Don't want that getting in the way. It is fun to listen to. We do have another TVP. I'm going to get all of these out of the way first. From the LiquidHerO replay pack and spawning on Cloud Kingdom. In the bottom position, the bottom left-hand corner, is our red Protoss player, LiquidHerO, our protagonist for the day, shall we say. And in the top right corner, our blue Terran, MajOr. Formerly 6 Jacks, MajOr. I'm not sure. I can't remember now what happened to 6 Jacks. I think they disintegrated, right? I actually don't know. I'm not going to get into it. I really can't remember. I just know it used to be 6 Jacks, and I'm pretty sure he switched. And I can't tell you where. That's a good question. But he is he's where is he from? Is he Mexican? I can't remember. Oh God, I should definitely look all this up before I start talking about the player, right? And so we do have a barracks and a gateway. It is a 2-player map. We will not see Nexus or CC first. How sad. Gotta love those greedy, aggressive builds from players these days. Seeing CC first a lot more now than we used to, at least from what I've seen. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But as players get used to the game, figure out the timings a lot more, they are able to hold off early aggression, and doing so with ACC as well. And the maps are bigger. It definitely can't be dismissed. A little bit of a probe harass here. LiquidHerO stealing some minerals. How dare you, you thief? Oops. Yes. How dare you, thief? Oh, now you're gonna come back for more, huh? Well, these probes, always stealing minerals. And we do have a Gasland core, hiding the core. Interesting play from Hero. Not sure if he wants to disguise this, but really there's no disguising it, so who knows. Marine gonna get his probe. Second, no. Great job from Hero getting it out of there, just barely. SCV will scout. The main is Zealot coming out. Zealot first. Now the CC will go down. No gas yet for MajOr. Electing to go 1 racks FE. Likely at this point throw down a couple more racks, or he could go, well, at this point he is ahead with his expansion. Yeah, double gas. Not going to go for the 3 CC you'll sometimes see from Terrans. In TVP, that's more often if the Protoss player goes 1 gate Nexus without gas, or just Nexus first. When he goes, gateway, gas, and then chrono, it delays his expansion a little bit. And, you definitely have to play a little bit safer as Terran. It looks like he's going to saturate right away. Going for a tech. Might see a factory and perhaps Banshees. I can't say for sure, but we are going to see something. Look at this SCV. 8 hit points. Oh, I really wish I'd seen that battle with the probe. Those nasty probes always picking off the SCVs, I tell you, man. They won't leave us alone. It's like the UFO stories you hear about people getting abducted and probed. Like, it's happening in StarCraft. It's not a myth. It actually happens. Right here. Live. For you to see. Well, actually, I can't say live because it says recorded. So, just so you know, the evidence is right here. We are getting probed by aliens. Ugh. And enough on that rant. Second rack's coming out. No, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. This is a lot of gas going to start piling up for MajOr. See where he goes with this. I was guessing Banshees. It could be for heavy upgrades as well. If he wants to go for, say, +1/+1, or maybe a +1 stim kind of thing. But more likely to see, maybe, there goes the tech lab and a starport. Yep, we will see the Banshees. That is the more common theme when you go, 2 gas off of a 1 racks FE, is to go for factory tech, or to, maybe double factory if you're, that's a little bit rare, but, if you're going for a mech build, which we don't see in TVP either. But in this case, it is the starport, the, Banshee. Oh, but not going for Banshees, going for siege mode. And this is interesting. I feel like I've seen this on this map. Maybe not this game, but in a different TVP. Yeah, it was in the GSL, actually, a Korean. Can't remember who it was. Had a siege tank here just in time to hold off the 2-base push from the Protoss player. Protoss player is gearing up, has a proxy at the third of the Terran, pushing in with a couple sentries, and a few zealots here will get a couple force fields to prevent the SCVs from repairing. Looks like the bunker going to go down. Yes, it will go down. Pulling SCVs. Major retreats to the ramp. Will not die to this push, at least not right away. If we do check, it's only 2 gates, so he better not die to this push. Let's put it that way. He is on. Yep, that siege tank has finished. It's going to force these guys to fall back. Now, see if this had been a later push from Hero, perhaps a stronger push. Say, 6 gates, or I mean, maybe with a Robo with an Immortal, or 7 or 8 gates. Siege mode would have finished because it has finished right now. In this case, Hero just going for 2-gate pressure. Check the units lost tab just to see the Protoss fell behind a little bit there. 300 resources. Not able to do a whole lot of damage with that push. These siege tanks getting out. It's really, I think, it's most likely something Major will transition out of. He's going for 3. That is the number, I think. And then he will likely swap here. And I'm not sure if he's going to go for Banshees or put a barracks on there. Has he produced anything out of the Starport 1 medevac? And going to pick off this pylon. Looks like an observer scout coming in. We'll figure out what's going up, but that's likely going to be it on siege tanks if this is the same kind of deal. It's really just for that early defense, against heavy Protoss pushes. And I'm actually, now that I think about it, might actually start doing this myself. Looks like, he's going to go up to 4. I really actually can't remember the number, but we will see how many he gets, and then we will know. Well, anyways, back to the game. A Colossus coming out. Now, has he gone for extended thermal lance yet? No, he has not. Let's see, he has 3 gas, not saturating the 4th yet, so his upgrades will be delayed. Poor Protoss. No upgrades for you. But the Terran not upgrading either. And I say the Terran, I mean Major. The Major is not... Oh, a little bit of a drop coming off from Major, actually. Speaking of him, at this instance, see these 2 tanks? Great siege position here. Covers the natural. Really protects against those heavy 2-base Protoss pushes. Something I'm definitely going to have to work on. Now that I think about it, it's a great idea. And this medevac, got to be careful. It does not get picked off. Gets out. Forces the army back. I'm not sure that he did a whole lot of damage. Picked off a couple probes. But really at this point, it's just about keeping the Protoss player safe. Not letting him get too greedy. Making him build units. See, now he's got to warp in a couple stalkers here to defend against that medevac, so he can push out with his army. So he can't just be greedy and go right for his upgrades in his 3rd. And I'm not sure if Hero will take a 3rd. Likely going to. I don't think he's not gearing up for a 2-base push at this point. Let's see. Going up to 6 gates, though, with charge on the way. Not producing from the Robo. He's likely going to push, put a little bit of pressure on, and grab a 3rd. Would be my guess. There is no proxy pylon right now. Actually, where was that sound coming from, too? Looks like, a drop. There we go. I could hear it, but I couldn't see it. And the medevac gets away just barely. 1 hit left on that medevac. Protoss player, meanwhile, pushing into the natural. The Terran gonna lose a couple stalkers. Was it so that? And almost lost a Colossus to these siege tanks. 5 tanks. Still producing tanks. Okay, a little bit different. 6 tanks. A little different from the game I did see. Major going to keep with the tanks. And meanwhile, there's no extended thermal lance yet from our Protoss player. Meaning, wait for it, a range of 6, and wait for it, a range of 13. Oh, yes, siege tanks are imba. Even with extended thermal lance. Well, he'd just be in a bit of a pickle, wouldn't he? So, we'll have a little bit of a standoff. 2 base versus 2 base, and likely a 3rd now from the Protoss player, yes. A probe already here. That will give, Hero a little bit of an advantage. He's only about 20 supply down, and checking the income tab, actually about even a little bit behind. Now, he's ahead in worker count, but you do have to account for the mules. If there are any mules. And right now there are none. Then there were none. Looks like a little observer. Gonna scout anything going on. And a 2nd observer here. Good vision from Hero. Notice that in a lot of the games I've been casting of him, these TVPs having good map presence. This case with observers. In the last game on Cloud Kingdom that I cast against 4GG, he had pylons all over the map. Really letting him see what's going on, any drops, any hidden expansions. Looks like a Marine up here. 4 Major doing the same kind of thing. Also probably scouting just for a left hook coming from Hero. We're here to put a pylon up here and then warp in units to harass the third. At this point, no third yet for the Terrans, so that not really an option for Hero. Vikings pushing in. Ouch. Poor Colossus. There's only one. He did force, it's a good choice from Hero. One Colossus forces a good amount of Vikings. And Major really sticking with this. Producing 2 more Vikings there. Moving in with the siege tanks. This is a very scary push. Is the Colossus, is Hero going to be able, he pushes forward. Can he get this down? Let's see. Oh. Falling back, the Colossus goes down. A lot of damage from those siege tanks. There's just too many tanks. A nice storm from Hero, but is it enough? There's too many. There are too many of them. Run. Looks like he might lose the third. Oh, God. This is just too much for Hero to deal with here. Nice storm. Oh, that was a great storm. But is he going to be able to get another one off? These siege tanks are going for the Templar. Ouch. Saves them, though. Goes for an Archon. Gets the second storm off. Great hold from Hero. Can he keep it up? Now there's another storm, clutch storms from Hero here. Really able to hold this attack off. Both players really committing to this. The Nexus taking some damage, but as soon as these guys come in, it looks like Hero will push Major back. Still a few siege tanks here. And they do go down. There we go. More tanks being produced though. That was a great play. Pushing out with tanks from Major, but he ends up losing the army. Does a good bit of damage to the Protoss player, but if we check the units, his army is a little bit thin, and there are 3 Immortals out now. So these tanks are going to become, well, almost useless, to say the least. And a little bit of an advantage for our Protoss player, especially having his own third up, while the Terran is stuck on 2 bases. Oh, an engagement. Here we go. Nope. They do back off. Nope. Little hide and seek going on. Peekaboo, rather, between the 2 players. Looks like the Terran falling back. We're going to have +2 halfway done for the Protoss player. Headed upgrades. Terran on 1-0, or 0-1, if you like to say it that way. And the Protoss 1-1 already. Ah, nice storm. Really got the Terran Major forced into a choke here. And there goes another storm. I was waiting for it. This right here, the army clumps up. That is just too good of an opportunity for a storm. Now, Major being a little bit aggressive with his units here, has to be careful. If he loses these, his tanks are going to be unsupported and very vulnerable to these Immortals. There's 3 Immortals here. He cannot lose this Bioforce, or his tanks are just going to fall. I say tanks, but there's only one. He does scare the army away, and we have some Zealots coming out. Look, got to be careful here. These rallied Zealots are going to be in a bit of a pickle. And Major actually picking off 3 of them. Nice play from Major there, getting a 300 mineral surplus. Bonus. But not enough. Did not do enough damage to the army, in my opinion. Lost a good amount himself. And is behind on upgrades. Extended Thermal Lance coming out now. A Ghost Academy as well. Going to see a little bit of a transition here. And now that the Terran has switched to Medivacs. Wow, and that is indeed a lot of Medivacs. 12 Medivacs. Marine King style here. That many Medivacs in your army, well, it's like just regenerates. I tell you, it's like one Medivac for every 2 guys. Oh, that's a lot of room in there. It's like when you get a, 2 roommates share a 2-bedroom versus sharing a studio. And so, a little bit of a misrally there. An Archon and a Templar are going down. Looks like we do have something in the main. Is this a no, it's a drop, but it's not a Colossus drop. A Templar drop and Zealots. The main army's falling back from each other, we do see, but let's check it out. Oh, a storm's going down on the ramp on the SCVs. Oh, I don't know how many he got with that. Let's check the units lost. And an engagement here. Looks like both armies attacking each other. This ball is just too small. This ball is just too small, I tell you. It's not going to be able to hold off this army. And only 1 tank here. MajOr will have to fall back, but in this time was able to saturate his third. Very good for him. But the Protoss player, LiquidHerO, taking a fourth. Game definitely in his favor at this point. Ouch. As I say that, 2 Templars go to their deaths, and 1 Storm. Ugh, ouch, that hurt. Just a little bit to watch. Looks like MajOr flying some medevacs out, trying to scare the Protoss player perhaps into thinking it's a drop, and trying to get up. He picks off a Colossus, which is huge, but he's force fielded out, and these medevacs are going to go down. At that point, this bio ball will fall. I'm not sure if he'll get a pickup. MajOr is not. Feedback. Oh, great feedback from the Templar. Destroys the medevac. There we go. Meanwhile, another bio ball coming out. And there's just balls everywhere. And here we go. It looks like Zealots coming out. Those medevacs just sitting there. I'm not sure. MajOr was just trying to divert the Protoss army into thinking there was a drop going on. You know, it's trying to trick Hero into falling back. But it did not work. These medevacs haven't done anything except waste time. Now, nice Storm from Hero. Very, very intense game. We do have Gravitic Drive, better known as Warp Prism Speed, coming out. Will we see more Warp Prisms and drops? We do have a left hook coming, like I was talking about earlier. 6 Zealots going up around the top side of the map. Gonna be coming into that third of the Terran any minute now. A Storm here to force the army back. Gonna lose a Geyser. And possibly some probes, sending a few Marines over. MajOr not committing to this as much as he could, but he has to be careful. A bunker at the third. Nice defense here. Will it go down? MajOr not pulling SCVs, not realizing that this is going on. His focus is elsewhere. Does lose the bunker, but he pulls his reinforcements over and will take out these Zealots. Zealots unable to do any economic damage. 1 bunker and 4 Marines. Well, I'll trade that for 6 Zealots. I will. It's much better than losing your mineral line. Okay, another drop. 2 Templar. Gonna drop. Oh, it will be spotted though by MajOr. Has to be careful here with his Warp Prism, keeping it with the army. That Siege Tank is worth its weight in gold though right now. Really keeping the Protoss army from pushing up this narrow choke. Only 5 kills, but I guarantee it's done a lot of damage. Oh, the Protoss player pushing in. Gonna be a battle here, trying to break through. This is kind of a hard position for Hero. Not the best of engagements because of the angle here. The Terran player has the better concave, but able to power his way through, running through the reinforcements. The medevacs are all that's left, and MajOr GG's. Great push from Hero. Really, you know, that is a tough spot to win when your army is sandwiched in here and you have the Terran player up in a concave. But his army was just superior at this point in the game, and you check the upgrades, it's 3-3 versus 1-1. 2-2. 4 seconds away from finishing. If Hero hadn't pushed, then you know, 2-2 would have finished. Terran could have held that. Very likely. Actually, maybe not. Looking at what's left over. But great play from Hero. A really great push there, knowing when he had the upper hand. And you know what? Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Looks like we had a drop going on, but not doing too much damage. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to get some more replays up. One more TVP, and then I'm going to move on to some PvP and PvZ with LiquidHerO, our protagonist for today, June 20th. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Keep crafting.